I'm a huge advocate for planning 90 days of content at one time. Now, the way that I do this is that I take an SEO centered approach to my marketing. That means that I am always focused on one long form piece of content every single week, which means that I only need to have one core topic every single week. So coming up with 90 days of content ideas means I only need 12 topics. And since we're focused on SEO here at Brand Mary, and I use SEO, think Pinterest, YouTube, Google search to drive traffic to my website and my offers, I also use SEO to come up with my content ideas. And I think that this is something that is just flying so under the radar for entrepreneurs who are wanting to create content, that are wanting to show up consistently online. And the data is right there at your fingertips. And this goes for you, whether you are focused on podcasting, creating YouTube videos, even social media marketing. All of this information is there on the internet, and today I'm going to share with you 3 of my favorite ways for coming up with content ideas. Now, before we get into that, we've got to start with what I call the content web. I really think that the content web is a strategy that every entrepreneur should do before they jump into the research mode. At the end of the day, you really want to make sure that the content that you're creating is true to you and your brand, and that it leads back to your paid offers or services. This is where I see a lot of people kind of messing up when it comes to the content creation game, and especially when it comes to viral type of content online. You never want something to go absolutely viral that doesn't actually help build your business. And we're seeing a lot of that online right now, where people are going viral and it's not leading to actually paid clients. Even the wrong subscribers are ultimately joining their community. First, we want to make sure that the content that you're creating is actually going to lead to paid clients, because that's ultimately the goal. So this content offer web is really similar to what you might have heard in regards to content buckets. When it comes to content buckets or content containers, you're basically focused on these main categories of content that you could create for your brand. But the web is just a little bit different, because we're actually going to expand on that quite a bit, and then that's going to help us with a lot of our SEO research. All right, so for our purposes today with the content web, I'm doing this inside of ClickUp because my handwriting sucks, and I think it's just a really great way to visually see what we're talking about today. You obviously can write this out, do it on your own whiteboard, or do any software that you ultimately like to use. What we're doing again is that we are really focused on centering our content around what our brand ultimately delivers. So what I recommend you do is you create a content web that at the center is your brand name, and then the subtopics that you're creating are ultimately going to be the framework that you teach, or the main buckets that you teach, the main benefits that you ultimately deliver. Now you can also jump back into this and create individual webs for all of your offers. This can be so helpful if over the next 90 days you're gearing up for a launch. So let's say our brand name is Home Organization Pros, and one of our subtopics is going to be general home organization. And then you're going to go through, and remember, you're going to keep it kind of broad, thinking about your framework, and you're going to put those topics in there. For my business specifically, I have things on personal branding / brand foundations would be a topic. I also have content creation. I also talk about SEO marketing, productivity, and then we talked about having the personal branding aspect as well. Now you're going to see how we're going to take those topics and we're going to put those into these SEO tools. Then you can come back here and you can put in some of those main points from your SEO research to complete the full web. Once you have that web created, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to start chipping away at some of these amazing tools. So the first tool that I love to use is called Answer the Public. Answer the Public is a fantastic tool that will basically pull some of the top data from Google in terms of research so that you can use it to come up with topics for your business. Now, one of the things that's so important when you're using SEO tools that I see a lot of people mess up on is they get way too specific with the ask, and then they're left with very little data. I see this a lot when it comes to doing Pinterest market research and even YouTube market research as well. So that's why this web is so crucial, because you're able to take some of those broader ideas, put them into the Answer the Public, and then niche down throughout. Answer the Public is a secret weapon because it really does tell you the words that people are using. And as entrepreneurs, as content creators, as much as we really want to use the words that our audience is using to describe something, sometimes we default to how we would ultimately say it. And so I find Answer the Public to be such a hidden gem for this specific thing because it allows me to see what are people actually Googling. So the first one we're going to dive into in just a couple seconds is answer the public. The second one that I want to share with you is using our good friend Google, and it's looking at the people also ask section. The third tool that we're going to take a look at is actually just doing the autofill on individual platforms. If you are focused on blog research, if you are focused on Pinterest specifically, or YouTube. And today we're going to dive into showing you YouTube and how you can use the autofill to come up with a lot of ideas for your brand. All right, let's get into a little walkthrough of these different strategies. Okay, so you're going to head to answerthepublic.com, and in order to do 3 free searches a day, you just need to go ahead and sign up. I promise you it's totally worth it. You're going to use this as a resource in your business. Now, you're probably going to see right now, I don't have the paid version, so you can absolutely use this without investing in the paid version. Another tool that I absolutely love from Neil Patel Digital is Uber Suggest. I teach you how to use that inside of my content planning blueprint, and you can go ahead and get details about that below. But let's go ahead and dive into Answer the Public. Now, you can see down here, I've already done some pretty broad research terms about 9 months ago on brand storytelling and personal branding. Those are definitely parts of my web. But what we're going to do here is we're going to focus on home organization. Let's say that you are a home organization expert. You help other individuals organize their homes to create less chaos and clutter. And so we're going to go ahead and say that that's one of the spokes on your wheel. So all you need to do is type in 1 to 2 words. Again, we want to keep these pretty broad. We're in the United States, so we're going to focus on United States, and I'm looking for English results. Go ahead and hit search. Now, what you're going to get is a lot of juicy information. Again, you can invest and upgrade. It's going to give you even more information. But again, like I said, I found that this is incredibly useful just as it is. I tend to be a wheel girl, but you can look under lists as well if you prefer your information kind of organized in this way. And you can also use tables here at the top. So right away, what I love about Answer the Public is it is an SEO focused platform. Now that it is owned by Neil Patel Digital. So you're already getting some really great key information on search volume. They do such a good job of color coding it and letting you know, hey, this is good. Like there's a lot of people searching for this. You can also get some information on cost per click, basically for advertising purposes. As you scroll down, you're going to see there's a bunch of different sections, and I highly recommend that you go into each of these sections. Don't just assume that questions is where you want to live. There are also some really great things hidden in here, especially related, and we'll talk about that. So as you go down, you're going to see that home organization. This is where we're really wanting to focus in on the wheel, and this is one of the reasons that I personally like the wheel. Is that you can see a lot of really great questions that you can start to answer on your blog or in YouTube videos. You could break these down into a series over on Instagram, doing Reels or TikToks. There's a lot of possibilities here. But where to buy home organization, all right? Where is home organization in IKEA? So that's like very niche specific, but obviously a very important search term that's coming up. We have what is home organization? So you could obviously dive deeper into what it is, different types of systems. Again, that could be a really great series for you. So right now we're looking primarily at the questions. I'm gonna switch to list mode just so it's easier for you all to see. But here we go. We have some more here. Home organization and cleaning. That's a really great one. Interior design. So you're going to see inside of the list that they go ahead and they combine those different categories. So you've got, this is comparisons, right? So different comparisons that people are looking up. Prepositions, home organization for ADHD. Again, like that could be a really, really valuable piece of content that you create if it's relevant to you and your audience. Going down a little bit more, we have those questions that we looked at before. And then we also have it all listed out here under T. So home organization tips, tips for ADHD, tools, tips and tricks. So the reason that this is so powerful is one, it's giving you a lot of different things that you could create content around, but it's also giving you very specific language that you can use. Now, under the free version, as you can see, we stopped seeing the data. Again, inside of my content planning blueprint, I break down how to actually understand this data and use this data for SEO ranking. So if you want to get information on that, you can definitely check the links below. So right here, you're getting tons of ideas. I mean, you could really kind of stop here because you probably have 12 different topics that you could use. And I think that that's pretty incredible. There was no guessing involved. Now, one of the other things that you can do that kind of piggybacks into our next tip is you can go back to the wheels and you can choose one of those topics that really speaks to you, and it's going to go ahead and open it up into a Google search. So let's go right on down here and let's do how ADHD affects home organization. If you click on that, it's going to open up a new tab. And inside of that new tab, you are going to see obviously a lot of really useful information. Now, if you know anything about market research and diving into that, one of my other hidden secrets is to actually go into Amazon, look at book reviews and see what people say about those book reviews. So this could be a really great way to get that started. There's a couple books here at the top that actually could go in and you could look at a ton of reviews, getting some additional ideas. But one of the things that we want to look at is going to be all the way down here. And yes, I have a ton of add-ons that I use for my business. But one of the things that I use is called Keywords Everywhere. And Keywords Everywhere is such an amazing tool that I use that will also give me some information on what people also search for. So we can see here on the side that there are some additional tips here on organization tips for ADHD adults. So that's a more niche specific, but again, could be a really great piece of content. If you are a professional organizer who has ADHD, maybe that is something that you could speak to. ADHD organization tools. So again, this is allowing you to go a little bit more niche, where if you searched for these topics inside of Answer the Public, it might be too specific to get a web of results, but here you're able to see some additional micro topics that you could create. These could ultimately be additional topics, or if you were creating a series, these could be parts of the series. These could also be headers inside of your blog post or sections inside of your YouTube video. All right, the next thing we're going to look at is platform specific research. Now, again, I'm going to focus on YouTube, but you absolutely could do this using Autofill on Google, which I'm sure you all have seen if you've Googled anything. You could also do it specifically on Pinterest or another platform as well. Even sometimes Instagram and TikTok are really great ways if you are showing up on social media. Here at Brand Mary, we don't prioritize social media. We're really focused on SEO. So that's what we're going to dive into today. So we're going to use our home organization topic. We're going to go ahead and we're going to type that into YouTube, and right away we're getting a lot of different ideas. Now, a lot of these, I'm also getting bonus content ideas in terms of search because of the tool I use called Keywords Everywhere. Again, inside of the content planning blueprint, I break down how to read all of this data and understand what's actually going to work for your brand and what is easy to go after. However, this is a really great place to start. So right away, we're seeing that they're giving us some great additional topics. Organizing your kitchen, again, very specific. Home organization minimalist, right? The home edit, which is obviously a very popular thing. Professional organizer, organizing tips, bathroom organization, organizing clothes, home organization hacks. I love that wording. Home storage ideas. So based on just what we've done, this has taken us, less than 10 minutes. There is no reason why you don't already have a full 90 days, if not a full year of content ideas for your business. I also put together a complete content strategy playbook just for you, where I break down how to show up consistently online. That means that you need to have your systems in place. You need to understand where you're showing up, how you're organizing your content, your workflow, coming up with content ideas like we're talking about today, and ultimately your big content plan. This is going to help you show up consistently no matter what your strategy might look like. If you're ready to get your hands on that, you can go ahead and comment playbook below and I will get you the link.